Angel Reese receives her 8th tech, which will prohibit her from playing against the Indiana Fever. And 2, she's in some pretty hot water with her teammates about the Chicago Tribune article. So today has not been Angel Reese's day. Basically, her entire team feels attacked by her from comments that she made in a Chicago Tribune article. This is what Front Office Sports is reporting. According to the report, Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Bannum or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading a playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky's roster with WNBA championship experience. We are aware of it, Marsh said. Marsh is actually head coach of the Chicago Sky, and we're addressing it in-house as currently speaking. That's where we're staying right now. But multiple league sources did tell Front Office Sports the entire team has seen Reese's comments, and they're basically unhappy with the direct attacks. They are even planning a team meeting to talk about it. I did make a video about this earlier, but if you aren't aware of some of the things that were said, I will read you some of the excerpts, which does kind of not make her team look good. One of which say, "We can't rely on Courtney," that's Courtney Vandersloot, "to come back at the age that she's at. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before." Some of the other stuff that she said was also pretty bad. Like, "I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year. We have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I am willing and wanting to play with the best. And however I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. So it's going to be very, very important this offseason to make sure that we attract the best of the best because we can't settle for what we have this year." So her saying we can't settle for what we have this year, that is basically like a slap in the face to Becca Allen. That is a slap in the face to Rachel Bannum. That is a slap in the face to Ariel Atkins. And here's another quote. "I'd like to be here for the rest of my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me." And listen, I totally get that because if you are somebody with a lot of star power, you don't want your career just like rotting away in a place, especially the Sky. The GM, Jeff Pagliocca, he absolutely sold the Sky's future. He traded away draft picks for this like win now mentality. And who he drafted? Now, I don't want to speak bad about Haley Van Lith, but she has not had a mentor to actually mentor her to be any proper type of point guard. So she's kind of been flying in the dark. She hasn't exactly proven her worth in the WNBA. She's definitely green. And without anybody to mentor her, I don't see how she's an asset to that team. I think that as high as she went was because of her notoriety, because there were players that were definitely better than her that this guy could have drafted. But in addition to all of this, she did talk about wanting a more dynamic style of play on the court. She wants the Sky to establish a more cohesive identity regardless of personnel. And get this, she wants head coach Tyler Marsh to coach the players harder. And I said this in the last video, but I don't know exactly how that's going to go over in the locker room. I don't know how any of this is going to go over actually in the locker room. But they did play tonight. And in the post-game interview, Reese was asked about it. And this is what she said.
Angel, are you frustrated with the organization or frustrated in general?
I don't think I'm frustrated. I probably am frustrated myself right now. I think the language is taken out of context, and I really didn't intentionally mean to put down my teammates because they've been through this with me throughout the whole year. They've busted their ass just how I busted my ass. They showed up for me through thick and thin and in the locker room when nobody could see anything. So I would apologize to my teammates, which I already have, about the article and how it was misconstrued, about what was said. And I just have to be better with my language because I know it's not the message, it's the messenger, and understanding what I say can be taken any kind of way. So I just have to really be better and grow from this.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that can be misconstrued. I think that a lot of those statements were pretty direct and, they were very rude. Now, saying that, I totally understand having this sentiment. If you are a player that is worried for your career, I think that there should be people advocating for you behind the scenes. But it was the way that this was delivered that was kind of the big deal. In any case, in this very game, Angel Reese got her 8th technical foul, and according to WNBA rules, after 8 technical fouls, you are suspended for the very next game, which just so happens to be against the Indiana Fever. Now, the ironic thing about the Indiana Fever and the Sky is that the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, she started this thing called Rivalry Week, of which the parameters pretty much put the Sky and the Indiana Fever as rivals. And obviously, the two players being the rivals are Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese has actually only played 1 game against the Fever, and she missed 2 games due to a back injury, and this will be her 3rd game that she misses against the Indiana Fever. If you're curious about what happened for her to get the technical foul, it was an interaction between her and Aaliyah Edwards. Now, there is the possibility that the tech can be rescinded, but I don't believe that it is going to be. And this is a game that a lot of people, including myself, thought that it would be possible that Caitlin Clark would actually be returning in. Now, do I still think that? I really don't know what to think about Caitlin Clark's return anymore. I feel like we have been quite hoodwinked this season with Caitlin Clark. This is kind of how I feel about Caitlin Clark returning. I just don't know. But you know, Caitlin Clark is practicing, so she could be practicing for something. I don't know if at this point it is the front office wanting us to think she's coming back. Again, I'm not one to like wear a tinfoil hat or anything, but I really just don't know anymore. But I will say again that September 5th was the date that I thought Caitlin Clark would be back. Maybe she's going to be back. Maybe Angel Reese will get her tech rescinded. Maybe she won't, and maybe Kathy Engelbert will never have the rivalry that she planned all season long. In any case, what do you think about all of this? I personally don't think that Angel Reese chose the right wording, the right messenger to get the message across that she wants to be on a winning team. I think she's on a rookie scale contract. She has a couple more years, and I understand. Like, I think call out your GM. He is doing a terrible job building the team, definitely. But to call out your teammates like that is very kind of odd, you know, especially a team that just like you build a camaraderie with. This is almost like going to war with people. That is what a team is like, you know? But feel free to give me your thoughts in the comments.